But more importantly, they have pitched well. They have swung the bats well. They have not expanded the strike zones from an offensive standpoint. In other words, not swinging a lot of bad pitches to this point.
Dalton rushing. Hitting 125 this spring. Check swing roller. That's in fair territory. Matt Chapman charges and throws him out, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the first inning. Only took 7 pitches for Robbie Ray to get through it. Now the World Series MVP, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, comes out to face the Giants. Good lineup for the Giants this afternoon. Willie Adames leads off. Rafael Devers will bat second. Patrick Bailey, the DH, hitting third. Newly acquired second baseman Luis Arias will bat in the cleanup spot. Then Harrison Bader expected to provide some more offense for the Giants. Matt Chapman, Elliot Ramos, Victor Barracoto, and Daniel Susak doing the catching, batting ninth against Yamamoto.
For Yamamoto, not only the fastball to mention really at the outset. 2 things to look at if he's going to be on today. The low pitches inside, 140 average against. Fastball up. Mentioned Robbie Ray, successful fastball up. How about 134 when he moves that heater up and into hitters?
Yamamoto against Willie Adames. Adames does not have a hit yet for the Giants in the spring. Last year, Yamamoto started against the Giants 4 times. Turned in a 2.25 earned run average against San Francisco. Allowed only 6 earned runs in those 4 starts. In his first pitch of the afternoon, set sail with a strike. Adames had 30 home runs last year. Pretty productive if you can get your shortstop to hit 30. And 1 pitch. Went with a splitter a little low.
The first pitch is thrown the regular season this year. The Giants embarked. It's been 12 long seasons since they have celebrated a championship.
1-1 delivery. Missed outside. Home plate umpire, by the way, Alex McKay. If there is a challenge, we'll hear the voice of Alex McKay. Jim Wolf, Charlie Welling, Austin Snow rotating on the bases today. 2-1 pitch. A little below the knees with a splitter. Falling behind 3-1. Yamamoto wearing the PitchCom device on his left hip. Got it on his belt. Fouled back, and it's 3-2. Throwing the splitter pretty often so far. You can see he starts with the split grip. Last year, opponents hit only 132 against the splitter. And the opposition hitters swung and missed 42% of the time. 3-2. Curveball hit deep to left, and this one's gone. Willie Adames' first hit of the spring is a home run, and the Giants up 1-0.
For Adames, last year he was the first Giant hitter to hit 30 home runs. It had been a while to hit the 30 home runs for Adames on year 1 of a 7-year deal.
First curveball thrown by Yamamoto. It was on the wrong side of the fence.
So it had been a number of years since the Giants hitter had been able to connect for 30 or more home runs.
This is Bryce Eldridge, first baseman, took over for Rafael Devers. Devers was scratched. We were told by the Giants just a short time ago he was going to be scratched. Didn't get a reason why. But Devers was expected to be the first baseman today, and Eldridge is now hitting. And the pitch. Foul straight back.
Well, yesterday the White Sox had 3 different changes in the lineup from what was originally posted. So, yeah, everything remains rather fluid.
Well, one thing I'm told to expect today under new manager Tony Vitello, who comes over from the college game in Tennessee, as Eldridge goes out on strike, struck out on the splitter. is that he will use every player on the bench.
Well, they got a village down there in the dugout. And it's not a small village.
Told to expect a lot of pinch runners today. So in other words, later in the game, runner gets on, batter gets on, somebody will come pinch run for them, and then somebody else will go into that position defensively.
So you're saying for those that are keeping score, write small.
Patrick Bailey is the batter. Bailey, the DH. Switch hitter, hitting .333 this spring. One out and one in on the home run by Adames. There's a comebacker. Good snare by Yamamoto. Throws over to Tibbs at first for the out.
You know, that home run that was hit by Adames, it was not going to be caught if it stayed in the ballpark, because Ward going back to left, he was about 20 feet offline of where that ball was leaving the ballpark. Well, here's the home run. Ward turned to his left. The ball came down, and that berm would have been behind him.
Luis Arraez, used to seeing him in a Padre uniform. Now he's in orange. Hit .292 last year in 154 games for San Diego. Actually, the .294 is kind of low for him.
Very low.
He's going to challenge.
The call of ball.
And it's a ball. So Dalton rushing in the first inning.
Confirmed. Los Angeles have one challenge remaining.
Yeah.
Well, so much of the theory about don't use them early in a game and save them for later on.
Yeah. Might be challenging it because Yamamoto's on the hill right now. He's only going to be in 3 innings, but at the same time in a regular game, you're not going to challenge there. I wouldn't think. As Arraez puts one into center field for a base hit.
I'm in total agreement with Arraez. You know, you hit 290-something and say, well, it's a subpar year, because Arraez, very low percentage. I think it was somewhere around 6% in his career, swing and miss.
Well, he's one of the better contact hitters you're going to see. He gets a lot of them to fall in. Now here's Harrison Bader, former Cardinal. Bader hitting .455 with a home run. He's driven in 6 so far in Cactus League play. Inside for a ball. 2 down, 1 on. And a 1-0 Giant lead in the bottom of the first. Next pitch inside, 2-0. Yamamoto will leave after the game and head to Tokyo, where he'll join his Samurai Japan teammates as they prepare for Pool C play in the World Baseball Classic. Saw some video of Shohei taking BP at the Tokyo Dome today, and quite a crowd. They fill up the Tokyo Dome just to watch batting practice. Pitch to Bader. A ground ball towards second base, and with it is Espinal. Sidearm to first, and the side is retired. The Giants get a run on 2 hits. The home run by Adames. We head to the second, 1-0 San Francisco. Subscriber or a Spectrum Internet and mobile customer, you get SNLA Plus at no additional cost. Visit MLB.com/SportsNetLA. Nick Senzel at the plate. Former Tennessee Volunteer. Hometown Knoxville. They already have a substitution. Harrison Bader is out. And the Giants have gone to the bench.
Well, Bader, when he hit that ground ball, he was on low cruise control going down the first base line.
Well, Grant McCray has come in for him. Early change. Senzel, while playing at Tennessee, he played for Dave Serrano, who was the head coach at the time, not Tony Vitello. Vitello would come a few years later. And he hits one on one hop down to third. Chapman was backing up, long throw, got him.
Well, that was the grunt as Robbie Ray made the pitch. Not a changeup.
Still waiting to hear whether or not he does grunt on the changeup. But fastball, slider, yes. And why do you look for that?
I don't. It's just an observation. Told a story a few days ago about Nolan Ryan. Well, there's the grunt. Missed outside, but you know, the speed of sound, roughly 700 plus miles an hour. And I said at one time, the ball got to home plate faster than the sound.
Swing and a miss by Keston Hiura. Ball and a strike to Hiura. He homered yesterday over at Camelback Ranch. And Ray's pitch up high. He got a hold of this one. This was the first of back-to-back home runs. Hit it off of Tyson Miller of the White Sox. And Hassan Kim would come up right after that and hit one to right. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
Yeah, that home run, really a sweet swing. You could really see the hands going through, delivering some bat speed, the barrel catching up to the baseball.
See, I thought you'd want to figure out which pitches he grunts on and doesn't, because as a hitter, you want to know what's coming. Another fastball.
Yeah. If you're waiting to hear a guy grunt or not, depending upon what you're looking for, you're in deep trouble.
It'd be too late at that point. There's the slider and walked him.
So one thing we noticed, the volume of the grunt is a lower decibel level in appearance than the fastball.
I mean, you notice everything. I'm going to guess in another inning you'll have the exact decibels.
Well, over the years, there have been pitchers that throwing a breaking ball, they might stick their tongue out a little bit.
Well, Nolan Ryan,
yep,
for one. Pitch outside. That reminds me of a story. Ryan Ward's at the plate. The late Jerry Remy, when he was with the Angels, he actually roomed with Nolan Ryan, and he knew that when the curveball was coming, the tongue would come out. So when he went to the Red Sox, he bunted against him, which Nolan didn't like anyway. And he knew, because they were roommates at one time, why he bunted against him. He didn't want to wait for the curveball, but he knew when it was coming. And of course, he would tell his new teammates that. But a lot of times with the fastball with Ryan, it didn't matter. It's probably by you anyway. Ryan Ward takes a strike.
Loud grunt, fastball.
Two ball, one strike count to Ryan Ward. Left on left here. Hiura at first. Pitch swung on, fouled away. Strike two.
It is amazing sometimes over the years is that how obvious a pitcher has been in really tipping pitches. Either coming up, the grip in the hand, going into the glove.
Stretch by Ray. He comes home high for ball three.
I also saw an interview that Greg Maddux, with all of his success that he had, there was a period of time in there that he was calling the pitches from the mound depending upon his glove position.
3-2. Got him swinging. Fastball at 94. Ward goes through it. And there are two down.
What would hitters given to have that pamphlet of information?
Yeah, especially with the movement on his two-seamer. Really would have liked to have known that was coming. Here's James Tibbs, the third. Tibbs playing first base today. He was with the Giants last year in the organization, part of the trade to Boston when the Red Sox sent Devers to the Giants. And there's another part of that trade. And that guy's on deck, Zach Earhart. He was involved too. And Tibbs lines it down the right field side. That's a fair ball. It'll roll to the corner. Hiller around second. He's going to get waved around third. He's on his way to the plate. Here comes the relay throw. It is not in time. Hiller safe with a pop-up slide and in with an RBI triple as James Tibbs. It's a 1-1 game.
Looked like a breaking ball, and he stayed in there nicely on it. Get the barrel out in front. Goes into the corner. The ball does. Just watching Herrick come around the bag at third. He hit it with his left foot. You know, if you hit it with your right foot, you can make the turn much better and push off with your right foot. You hit the left foot, you have a tendency to swing out a little bit farther into foul territory.
Zach Earhart, you mentioned that he also came over from the Red Sox organization in that deal for Rafael Devers out of Oklahoma State. Played for Josh Holliday at Oklahoma State. Majored in sports management there. He's trying to manage this at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Go ahead runs at third. And Ray delivers. That's inside. You know, so far, Mo, through the first 6 spring training games, plus an inning and 2/3 today, the Dodgers have outscored their opposition 52-20. Earhart takes high and away. That was the changeup.
And the grunt was much more subdued.
Well, he changed up the grunt.
Yes.
Takes a little off the grunt.
So you don't need really a radar gun with him. You need a decibel meter.
3-1 pitch to Earhart. Popped up foul, first base side. That'll make it way up in the fastball.
Well, Robbie Ray over the years, I mean, he's just a, here I am, there you are, and here it comes. He's a challenging type of a guy. Adds another dimension to this Giants rotation. After San Francisco, you know, the rotation, they kind of got it figured out. It was their bullpen that they need to have rebound this year.
3 ball, 2 strike pitch to Earhart. He fouls it away. Earhart's out of the Tampa area. Went to Wharton High School, and you know who his hitting coach was in high school?
And
Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. He would volunteer. That's where he went to school. And so Earhart got to learn from Wade Boggs. Former Red Sox, Yankees, and Rays. Shallow right field. Coming on is Barracoto. Going out is Arise, and the second baseman will make the catch. And Earhart is out, but the Dodgers get a run on 1 hit. They'll leave a man. And after an inning and a half, it's the Dodgers 1 and the Giants 1. The World Baseball Classic returns March 4th, featuring your Dodger stars as they take the field to represent their countries. Scan the QR code to see every matchup. Expect everything. Yamamoto facing Matt Chapman, Giant third baseman. 1-1 game, bottom of the second inning. Chapman out of Cal State Fullerton. El Toro High School in Lake Forest. First round pick by the A's in 2014. So professionally, he has played all of his baseball in the Bay Area with Oakland and now with San Francisco, and he lines out into the left center for a base hit.
Between Chapman, Adames, Devers, seems their 3 best hitters. If you look at OPS, what they can do. The Chapman dropped down in the lineup. Bob Melvin, who was let go after last year. You know, new Chapman from the A's, and he was batting in a much higher spot in this lineup. It just did not work for Matt.
Well, Bob Melvin got hired back by the A's, I saw.
Yes, he did.
He's going to be an advisor. Elliot Ramos will take a strike, 0-1.
And that's good, because Bob Melvin has been a very well-respected, good baseball man his entire career.
0-1 pitch. It's in the dirt. Ramos out of Puerto Rico. 26-year-old left fielder. Facing in Shinobu Yamamoto. That's flying to left. That's going to get down, and Ward has to chase it. Rounding second, heading for third is Chapman. And into second with a double is Elliot Ramos. Second and third, and nobody out for San Francisco.
Well, low and in, and that is a pitch that, quite frankly, hitters have not really gotten to. Just a 140 average a season ago against the ball and in. Ward bobbled that ball and then picked it up. It's going to be a double anyway. But we advise Mr. Ward is that when you bobble it the first time, don't try and pick it up with just the glove only. Go back down either with a bare hand or both hands.
Victor Barracoto, big swing. Right fielder out of Maracay, Venezuela. Well, Ward has been playing mostly first base. I asked him in the clubhouse the other day, are you going to play in the outfield? He said he didn't know yet. He now knows. There's a ground ball towards short. Freeland's got it. He'll throw on to first base. Stretched by Tibbs for the out. Run comes in to score. Chapman across home plate. It's a 2-1 Giant lead.
San Francisco did one thing, well, a few things very well last year. I know it was frustrating for them. They like to finish better than what had wound up. 81 and 81, a 500 season. But they had a great number of at-bats. They were the top 5 in baseball as far as the number of pitches that hitters saw. So it's not like they were going to home plate and swinging wildly all the time.
Infield in with one out, and Susak, the catcher, fouls it back. Susak was in the athletics organization last year. Played in 97 games in Las Vegas with the Athletics AAA team. Hit 275 there. Yamamoto's pitch in for a strike.
So who were patient teams as far as seeing in one of the reference points was 8 pitches or more in an at-bat? Well, the Phillies are in the top. Giants were 4th.
Susak goes down swinging and a splitter.
And for the Cincinnati Reds, they were 30th in that category. Not the most disciplined.
Second strikeout of the game. Second strikeout on the splitter for Yamamoto. Willie Adames opened the scoring in the first inning with a leadoff home run. Unusual to see off of Yamamoto. Adames takes a strike. And why is that unusual? Last year he only allowed 14 home runs total. So if you look at his home runs per 9 innings, 5th in the National League, 0.73, 0.73. Less than 1 home run per 9 innings. Guys are going to hit home runs. It's the big leagues. But if you're a pitcher and you can limit them, all you're going to do is help yourself. And Yamamoto did pretty often in that category last year. Infield back with 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch is low.
And which type of home runs? By that I'm talking about, and a look at the ball went down and got this one. And really hit it well. But I think back to Don Sutton. Thing with the Dodgers years ago is, look, I'm going to challenge hitters a little bit more with nobody on base. What the really good pitchers avoid is giving up the big home runs with a runner, a couple of runners that are already on base.
And I remember when Max Scherzer was with the Dodgers briefly, that's one of the things he talked about too.
Absolutely.
Nobody on base, just to get me over fastball sometimes, try to get ahead. And he would give up a home run too. Called strike 3. Got him with a slider. So Adames is out. 1 run on 2 hits. 1 man left. We go to the third. 2-1 Giants. 1 with Rick Monday, Tim Neverett, Houston Watson with you. Cactus League Baseball from Scottsdale Stadium today. A new pitcher for the Giants, Carson Seymour. Last year, 16 appearances for the Giants. A number of appearances in AAA Sacramento also. And he is facing Mike Ciani. Ciani with the Cardinal organization. Last year hit 209 in AAA Memphis. Carson Seymour, 27-year-old. He's from Southern California. A little closer to San Diego, though, Temecula. But he went a long way at first for college. He had the grades for it, and he ended up in the Ivy League in Hanover, New Hampshire at Dartmouth. Check swing did not go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But was basically pitching his way out of the Ivies and ended up transferring to Kansas State, where the Mets drafted him in 2021. 6th rounder. Pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ciani. Ciani, left-handed batter, waits, and the right-hander Seymour delivers. A little outside, popped out of the glove of Susac.
I mentioned the bullpen needs to kind of kick it into gear this year for the Giants. They allowed the highest number of inherited runs to score.
Ciani will take the walk. They'll pitch up and away. Well, the Dodgers have the leadoff man aboard. Tying run heading down to first base here in the top of the 3rd. Alex Freeland flied out to deep center field, slight left center, 417 feet away from home plate. This won't make Alex feel any better, but that ball would have been out of 26 major league ballparks, including Dodger Stadium. But it is a huge outfield here. Now 330 down the right field line. That's pretty reasonable, but everything else is big. 360 down the left field line and 430 to dead center.
Talking to Major League Scout earlier today. We're talking about relievers. He said relievers have 2 jobs. One is to close out the game, and the other is to come in and put out fires. Well, for the Giants, they did not bring a lot of fire extinguishers.
The Giants finished even Steven last year, 81 and 81. Bullpen an issue. Strike called, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alex Freeland. I think you think of the division, the Giants are kind of an X factor this year. You don't really know what the new manager Tony Vitello is going to bring to the table. You don't know what kind of seasons guys like Adames and Devers are going to have. Chapman too. But it will come down to the pitching. And Vitello knows about winning. It was only 2024, the summer of 24, when his Tennessee Volunteers won the College World Series. It was like a year and a half removed from that. He went 341 and 131 at Tennessee. And becomes the first big league manager to go directly from college to managing a major league club. That's going to be a challenge. You'd have to think there's a lot of adjustment there. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Ciani swiped second base.
Dodgers have been pretty good when they have been running as far as success in stealing bases. And a good jump. Not a bad throw either down to second base. Yeah, going from the college ranks up. There was one other college coach that did it, but for Bobby Winkles, who was at Arizona State. The other part, too, is Vitello did not play professional baseball. Bobby Winkles played minor league ball for 8 years.
Ground ball up the middle for Espinal and a base hit. Here comes the throw all the way through. Head first slide. Ciani's safe, and the game is tied. So a base hit for Espinal. He goes down to second on the throw, and he drives in the tying run.
Well, good hitting and also very good base running, because not a good throw from center field. McCrane, who took over for Bader, just airmailed the cutoff man, and that allowed Freeland to go down to second base. The first baseman, Devers going to need a tall step ladder to cut that one off.
One out, Dalton rushing. The man in scoring position. Espinal at second. Pitch high, ball one. When you think of college to the majors, you think of Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, but he didn't go directly to the big leagues as a manager. He managed it, or coached at Notre Dame and Arizona State. He was a coach in the professional ranks first.
Yep. And Murph, manager of the year.
He just got a 3-year extension.
Yes, he did. And very well earned.
Players love him there. Dalton Rushing. We've mentioned it a couple of times, but if you haven't tuned into the early games, Rushing's batting stance is different this year. More upright, trying to get to the inside pitch more. Swings through a sinker there.
Still gets down to a little bit more of a crouch as he begins to move into the baseball.
He told me that he wasn't getting to some of those inside pitches that he used to hit.
Well, the other part, too, is I'm not convinced that he's standing as close to the plate now either. He has a slightly open stance. He's rather well off the plate as far as the distance. Does he have outside coverage?
3-2 pitch. That is strike 3 called right at the top of the zone. A cutter. And the Dodgers with only 1 challenge remaining, so Rushing's not going to use it here. Nick Senzel grounded out to third. He's 0 for 1. 2-away. Go-ahead runs at second base. Each time the Giants have scored a run, the Dodgers have come right back and tied it. Senzel was a kid. His dad went to work in England, and he didn't have baseball over there. Oh, he's hit.
Ouch.
I wonder if it got the elbow pad or not. Sounded like it might have. But he's hit by a pitch. But didn't play baseball for a couple of years in his 6th, 7th grade. And he took up rugby and field hockey instead. When he got back to the United States, he not only took baseball back up again, but excelled at it.
And not as much wear and tear as rugby.
No. Yamamoto on deck for at least one more inning. 45 pitches in that area. Expecting him to come out in the third. And then for Yamamoto, he's got a long travel day the rest of the day, as he will board a plane tonight and head to Tokyo. Pitch to Hero, fouled back. 0-2 to the former UC Irvine Anteater, Keston Hero.
Now they have a lot of area out in left center field. It's wide open. Oh, 2 popped up, foul, and out of play.
Yeah, there's so much room in that gap. If you put another fielder in between, you'd still have room to hit in a gap on either side of that fielder. A lot of room to cover. The miss, went off speed, spun the cutter up there, and Hero strikes out. Dodgers get a run on a hit, and they leave 2 through 2.5. It's a 2-2 game in Scottsdale. 36 pitches so far for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So this will be his last inning of work. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-2, Giants and Dodgers. And Bryce Eldridge, left-handed hitting first baseman, the batter. He's 0 for 1. He was the first strikeout victim this afternoon by Yamamoto. And Yama got him on a split. Tapper foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Eldridge was a late substitution for Rafael Devers, who was supposed to play first today. Dodgers getting action in the bullpen. Foul tip into the mid of rushing for a strike.
Eldridge brings a big strike zone. 6-7 he stands. Lackluster debut really last year.
Ryder Ryan warming up for the Dodgers. A swing and a miss. Got him with a splitter for the 2nd time. And there's 1 down.
Splitter cannot be a lot of fun to try and hit.
You know, that split right there looked like just one of the okay splits. We've seen some ones where the bottom just completely falls out.
Yep, where the elevator goes from the penthouse to the basement all of a sudden.
But that one was good enough to get Eldridge. A curveball here, and Patrick Bailey will take a strike. Bailey 0 for 1. He bounced out back to Yamamoto in the 1st.
Boy.
1 pitch is low.
See you well.
All right, what a postseason he had. What a real, regular season he had the whole way. He stayed off the injured list, kept himself healthy the whole year, which was a real big key for him. Short off season and then goes to the WBC. He's ahead of any other pitcher the Dodgers have in terms of being ramped up right now. And by the time he gets back from Japan, again, he's going to pitch in 2 games. He will have gone 5-75 with Team Japan. That's slapped down toward 3rd. And no chance for a play there for Senzel. Base hit for Bailey. So the next time we see Yamamoto when he gets back, he should be able to throw about 90 pitches or so. Luis Arraez is 1 for 1. This ball lined into center field. No, it is caught by Espinal. That was ticketed for center field, but Santiago Espinal with a great first step, going to his backhand side right, makes the stab and retires Arraez.
Really nice play, nice reaction as well. Arraez, one of those guys on the infield, is playing a little bit to pull the outfield the opposite way. Well, we saw so many times when he was with San Diego, he'll hit the ball all over the ballpark.
Espinal, again, we've been telling you, he's a guy to watch. There aren't a lot of position stories in this particular camp with the Dodgers because a lot of things are settled already. But there are some players to watch who could disrupt the roster maybe and find themselves on it. Espinal could be one of those guys.
His second base is a question mark, at least right now. Tommy Edman still on the mend after having the ankle surgery. Who's going to step up and claim opening day second base?
Strike call to Grant McCray, a fastball at 96 from Yamamoto. That's a good point. This is his first day at second. He'd been playing mostly third in the games he's been in so far. 1-1 from Yamamoto. Straight down the middle for a strike. And Yamamoto calling the pitches himself. Saw Roki Sasaki doing that too when he made his debut the other day. 1-2. Splitter low.
Just makes more sense, at least from my view, for the pitchers to do it. You got an idea. You don't have to wait for the catcher to give you a signal electronically, then shake that off. Then he goes to another one. If you don't like that one. And meanwhile, the pitch clock is operating. So cut out the middleman.
Close pitch missed. It was a fastball that missed low and away. 3-2. Runner at first base. Bailey will be off with the pitch. Now a 3-2. Fouled away. In the fourth inning, Ryan Ward, James Tibbs, and Zach Earhart will be the three scheduled hitters. Payoff pitch from Yamamoto. A tapper right towards second base. Freeland's got it. He'll throw on to first. And the side retired. Inning over. No runs to hit, a man left. We go to the fourth inning at Scottsdale Stadium. Yamamoto is off to the World Baseball Classic. .com/promotions. Ryan Ward faced Carson Seymour. Top of the fourth inning. 2-2 game. Pitch low and in. Skipping to get out of the way was Ward. Ward struck out on a good fastball in the second inning from Robbie Ray. Ground ball to first. Eldridge back there. Seymour covering. Steps on the bag for the out. One away.
Tim, we lost a friend yesterday. Bruce Fleming, who umpired at the major league level during 11 different no-hitters. Third most games umpiring over 37 seasons, 5,460 games. Bruce Fleming.
He came in to pay you a visit last year in Milwaukee and gave you a photo. Remember that?
Gave me a photo of him throwing someone out of a ball game, because he threw me out of a game once on a Sunday afternoon at Dodger Stadium, and I turned and said, that was really poor form. Here's how you need to do it, and I threw him out of the game. However, I was the only one that had to leave the game. But a lot to baseball. He's a good umpire and a good guy, and Rosemary, his wife, and to Steve, his son, who was with him in Milwaukee last year, our condolences.
From year to year, you'd see him at that ballpark.
Bruce worked the ball game behind the plate in Chicago. I think it was 1972. Milt Pappas had a perfect game going for 8 2/3 innings against the San Diego Padres. Larry Stahl, left-handed batter, came on to pinch hit. The count went 3-2. Stahl fouled off the next 3-2 pitch, and then ball 4 just outside. Pappas, for many, many years, said it was strike 3. Milt still wound up with a no-hitter. He got the next batter. And after the game, umpire room was busy with some reporters, and the reporter said, Bruce, you know, you could have been the 10th different umpire to call a perfect game in Major League Baseball history at that juncture in the history of the game. And Bruce looked at him and says, so it's that big of a deal? He says, absolutely, it's that big of a deal. He goes, good. Name one of the 9 guys that's already done it. And obviously that stumped the band. But sad to hear the passing of Bruce Fleming yesterday.
James Tibbs III swings, grounds it towards short. Getting behind to the Adames, throws to first, and in time to get Tibbs.
And I would say that Bruce, while he was not impartial when he was working, Bruce and Rosemary did have a dog. The name of the dog? Blue. And during spring training, Bruce would bring Blue out to Dodgertown and let Blue explore the campus, if you will.
There's Zach Earhart goes to the backstop. Nice little bonus for Blue.
Yeah.
Able to run around Vero Beach. You know, you do see dogs like hound dogs and stuff named Blue, but not because they're affiliated with an umpire. And Earhart hits it in the right center field gap. He'll sprint around first. He's on his way to second, and he'll stop there with a 2-out double.
Going the opposite way with some authority. The other part, too, is fun to watch him run. He can cover some ground. So ball down away just a little bit, but watch this. I mean, he picks him up and lets him fly. You're on the television side. And looking, boy, that's heads up. You get one little glance to the left to see what Dino Abel, the third base coach, was telling him. Was the ball bobbled in right field? Maybe you want me to continue to third? That's heads up base running.
Tony Vitello, the Giant manager, coming out to talk to Seymour, and he's going to make a pitching change. New right-hander coming in. 2 down, runner at second. Yamamoto thinking about his outing. Right-hander R.J. Dabovich comes over, and with 2 outs and the go-ahead run at second base, he'll face Michael Ciani, who walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Ciani takes ball 1. The Dodgers have taken 2 walks this afternoon. Ciani 1, Keston Hiura the other, and both have come around to score. 2-2 game. Dabovich in to replace Carson Seymour, and he deals him a strike. Zach Earhart with a double that chased Seymour out of the game. 1-1. Knuckle curve that falls in there for a strike. One ball, 2-strike pitch. That's a little high, and it's 2-2. For Ciani. A 91-degree afternoon. At least it's 91 right now. It's probably going to go up a little before it goes down. He chases the fastball up high and strikes out. Dodgers come up empty. 1 hit, 1 left. And after 3.5, it's the Dodgers 2, Giants 2. Today, Ryder Ryan, the older brother of River Ryan, on the pitch, backing up Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Now, 2-2 ball game. Bottom of the 4th inning, and Matt Chapman, the third baseman, fouls one away. Thanks for joining us today on the radio TV simulcast. Radio on AM 570 in Los Angeles. Television on Sportsnet LA. And pitch fouled into the Giant dugout. Tony Vitello was the one to field it. New Giant skipper. So Ryder Ryan, you'd say, well, did he pitch in college? Yeah, he went to North Carolina, but he didn't pitch very often there. He had 1 appearance as a pitcher with the Tar Heels. He was a position player there. He played a little bit of third base. And kind of discovered later that pitching would be his career. Well, it was a breaking ball. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. But he gets the strikeout on a big slider.
Well, did he go? Yep.
So here's something for you, Mo. Last few years, we've seen a lot of technology introduced into the game of baseball. And this year, of course, the ABS will be used. One thing that we're not talking about yet, but I think is being tested and will be tested, and we'll hear a little bit more about down the road, is kind of the technology I think they use in tennis, where it's going to determine whether a batter broke the front plane of home plate or not on a check swing. And they won't leave it up to the first and third base umpires.
Well, they got to change the rule book also, because that's not what designates a check swing. Going past the, it's an attempt to hit the ball.
Correct, but I'm just the messenger.
Because if we're going to go technically on the front edge of the plate, if you try and bunt and the bat's out in front, is that going to be? I mean, obviously I'm trying to throw a wrench into the thing because I think it would be so difficult to do. Somebody will figure it out eventually.
But that's in the future. That's something that is being talked about. This one sliced down the right field side. It's going to be on the line fair. And Elliot Ramos goes into second base. He's got his second double of the afternoon.
The throw was not going to make a difference. But Earhart airmailed it. Missed the cutoff man by a considerable period of time. Got to the ball nicely, but just launched the throw.
Victor Barracoto, the right fielder, drove in a run with a ground ball out. So one out, and the go-ahead runs at second. Ryder fires, and that one is outside.
Yeah, we've been, hearing about the check swing possibility. I mean, what are the prerequisites if you're going to call it? Where does the bat have to go? Versus, I mean, there's, the game's always evolving. The rules are also, the interpretation, going to continue to evolve.
Swing and a miss. Speaking of check swings and the Giants, Dodgers and Giants have a little history with that in recent years. A one check swing that wasn't called a strike. I think if you support the Dodgers, you probably think it may have cost them the division a few years ago, when the Giants won 107 and the Dodgers won 106. I still think it was the Mike Tauchman home run robbery of Albert Pujols in one of those games that may have flipped the tide of the division. And then in the playoffs, they met again, and that check swing was called, and it had a positive effect for the Dodgers and a negative one for the Giants when it really counted. Three ball, one strike pitch to Barracoto. And Ryder Ryan fires. Now it's 3-2. Foul ball. Dave Roberts keeping a watchful eye. Danny Lehman, the bench coach, right next to him. They've met with the media here today. He usually does it at Camelback Ranch in the morning of road games, but he decided to do it here at the ballpark today. Had some news updates on certain players. Ground ball toward short, backhanded stab, and Freeland long throw too high. And everybody's safe and advancing on the play. Ramos, that'll be a base hit for Barracoto.
Freeland had ideas, first of all, throwing the ball to third base. That was really the only opportunity he was going to have to record an out. Fielded it.
One out, runners at the corners. Daniel Susac, the catcher, up. Slider for a strike. Be a good time for a double play ball, wouldn't it?
Perfect.
It's always a good time in spring training for a double play ball.
Never a bad time.
Here's a pitch. And there's a ground ball in the right field, a base hit. And the Giants will take a 3-2 lead. Ramos comes in to score.
We talked earlier about San Francisco and a 500 year, 81 and 81. Was hitting and taking advantage of Greg Hole on the right side of the infield there. The Giants retake the lead yet again, but where San Francisco really had difficulty was two teams in particular in the Western Division combined against the Dodgers and the Padres. They were 7-19 against everybody else. They were 74-62. Now those are not bad numbers, 12 games above the 500 mark, but 7-19 against both the Dodgers and Padres collectively.
Willie Adames up for the third time today, 1 for 2 with a home run. We are told that typically in these games involving the Giants under the new manager that the starters will get 4 at bats. They usually make their changes in the 6th inning. They pitch way up and in for a ball. And you say, well, why is that different? Well, usually, we're still in February, and most teams are having their starters sometimes go 2 at bats, sometimes 3. They haven't quite gotten to the 4 at bat mark yet, but the Giants have been having their guys up there longer in games early. Down the skies, one foul back behind him. Adames was a really big addition for the Giants last offseason. 2 off seasons ago, we should say. Of course, played the full season and did very well, 30 home run year. That was a shot. Diving stop, Espinal. Throws to first, and he got him. And there's the double play.
And for someone who's trying to knock on the door, hey, might want to count me as a starting second baseman. It's an open call. Nice play. Second of the afternoon.
On Santiago Espinal, we'll keep an eye on this play. 1 out, first and second. Stabs that one. Back to first. That's 2.
We've seen him go to his right and now to his left in 2 dandy plays.
Matt Gage is the pitcher, and he's got a pitch comm issue. Said he can't hear the catcher's signs. And they'll have to get a new unit for him to put in the lining of his cap. And just as we said that the Giants have been allowing their starters to go 4 at bats already, Tony Vitello says not today. So Adames is out. Basabe's in at short. Chapman is out. Fitzgerald is in at third. And Ramos is out. And Jared Oliva is now the new left fielder for San Francisco.
Stay tuned. We'll see more.
Well, Matt Gage throws one home for a strike. Gage has pitched for Toronto as well as Houston and the Tigers. Both the Tigers and the Giants last year. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alex Freeland. Originally drafted by the Giants in the 10th round back in 2014 was Matt Gage. Well, this ballpark we're in has seen some shadows, hasn't it? I mean, it's been around here a long time. You mentioned that Boston had trained here at one time. When you were with the Cubs, this was your spring training home.
This park's older than dirt. It's been revamped, obviously, and done very well.
This used to be the regular home of the AAA team here before the Diamondbacks were in the Valley of the Sun. The Phoenix Firebirds used to be the AAA affiliate of the Giants, and they played here. And they had to leave once the Diamondbacks came to town.
Well, they also gained some real estate because the right field, 30 feet behind the right field fence, used to be a road. And on the other side of the road was the location, the headquarters of the Scottsdale Police Department. Well, the road is gone. They acquired that property. They have just extended some workout fields down past right field. And the Hutcher's going to be totally, but boy, he had a great seat there for a while.
It's not his ticketed seat. Got to be careful. They'll throw you in the city jail. It's just beyond the left field wall here, by the way, right behind the scoreboard. Freeland out on strikes.
And Drinkwater Road, that was named after a former mayor here, Herb Drinkwater.
Here's Espinal. 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Had a base hit in the third.
Well, we've been talking about Espinal, that who's going to audition and win the audition for second base. But we've seen 2 very good plays, but don't discount the offense of what we've seen. 1 for 2 with an RBI today. But he's 4 for 8 with 3 walks offensively, and he's reached base in 7 of his 11 plate appearances.
Wave and a miss. Espinal born in the Dominican Republic, but as a kid, he and his family moved to Florida in the Miami area. So grew up in South Florida. Stops this one fouling out of play.
That's early. Espinal. It's 31.
Been in the big leagues with the Blue Jays and the Reds. Originally with Boston, but then ended up with the Blue Jays organization in 2018.
Well, the weather. They've caught a break because the weather report last night was predicting that this could be an all-time record high, not only for this date but for the month. They have the misters turned on at the edge of the roof that's casting some shadow, which is very well appreciated. No shadows, however, out on the banks in the outfield.
Espinal takes a strike, a slider, and he goes down looking. Gage has come out of the giant pen and struck out the first 2 men he's faced. Yeah, those misters you're talking about, we're in just the right spot for those. It's like having air conditioning in here. Really nice. Dalton rushing, left on left, swings and misses. But they've had those misters here since they had the AAA team here. They had to have them all summer because temperatures generally in the 110s here in Phoenix.
Yeah, gets a little warm.
It's a dry heat. That's what we're talking about. The misters. Nothing in 2 to Dalton rushing. Top of the 5th, 3-2 Giants. Gage sends one home and it's outside. Another slider. Way hanging outside. 2-2. So when the AAA team played here, Mo, of course the hospital is across the street on the other side here. So every July 4th in the minor leagues, and big leagues, a lot of places, they have fireworks. They couldn't have the July 4th game here. They'd always have to move to Phoenix Municipal because it was so close to the hospital. Rushing strikes out. Gage strikes out the side. We go to the home half of the 5th. Monday, Tim Neverett with you. Kirsten Watson here as well. Glad you're along on the radio TV simulcast. Out of Duke University, here he is, Luke Fox, left-hander taking over for the Dodgers, and he'll face 6'7" Bryce Eldridge, first baseman, takes a strike. Eldridge, third time to the plate. He has struck out swinging twice. And he's probably relieved to not have to face Yamamoto, who struck him out twice on splitters. And a fan lost their hat, so Zach Gerhardt becomes the hero. Looks like a fan lost his shirt, too. Foul ball strike.
Expecting big things from Eldridge. With his size and with his strength. They're saying, look, you make more consistent contact, young man, you're going to be hitting a lot of balls out of the ballpark.
So last year in AAA at Sacramento, keeping track of his hard hit average, his hard contact average, he averaged 114.6 miles per hour. Velocity off the bat.
That's upper echelon.
1-2 pitch now to Eldridge from Fox. Slider fouled away to the left. One-two pitch is hit well to the left. Ryan Ward on the run, still running, and the ball falls in front of him. He thought it was hit better than it was, fooled by the big swing perhaps. And he ran all the way back toward the warning track, realized it was going to land in front of him, and he spun around and fielded the baseball.
Well, the first batter, Adames, hit the home run, and Ward did not track that one as he went back to the wall. He would have been about 20 feet off the line. Eldridge to get a pinch runner, but this one is just like you're going back, you turn around, oops. There is a pretty good sun to work with, bright sun, but it's more towards the high infield, middle of the infield, and maybe towards center field right now. Started out left field was the sun field.
Pinch runner on for Eldridge at second base. It was level. And Bailey pops this one up. Shallow left. And in comes Ciani, the center fielder, to make the catch.
But for Ward in the outfield, that is a work in progress.
Luis Arraez will get a third at bat. 1 for 2 today. Three-time batting champion Luis Arraez. The Padres had him playing first base. Of course, they had Jake Cronenworth mostly at second, but the deal with him and the Giants is that he's going to go back to second base full time. Second one out, Fox pitch. Foul ball. He acted like it got him on the right hand. That did not.
That's what you call getting jammed.
Here's a 1-1 from Fox. He's high and outside for a ball. Dalton Rushing thought about throwing down to second base. Johnny Level out there at second. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now 3-1 to Arraez. Fox looks back at second. Kicks, comes home, and he deals him high ball 4. And I guess we see another pinch runner here. What do you think?
Yep. Number 90 on your scorecard.
This will be Nate Furman. as an infielder, so we'll see if he goes to second or if somebody else goes to second. Seeing these games handled a little bit differently by Tony Vitello. And a throw down to second. Not too late. What Rushing is doing, he's looking over to the dugout, see what they want to do in terms of holding the runners, dealing with the running game. It's not like they're calling pitches for him. They don't do that at this level. But what the catchers do look over there for is look over probably at, well, Bob Guerin's been given a lot of those signs in the past, but Graham McCray fouls it back. So the first and second situation mode. What are the Dodgers trying to do here as far as controlling the running game?
Well, first of all, position the infield is dictated by what they're looking at the scouting report with the hitter too, and then work around that. I mean, obviously a spot.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter is challenging.
All right, everybody stop what you're doing.
Yeah. Stop and stare and look and see.
Call is overturned. San Francisco has 2 challenges remaining.
More than 2 inches outside.
Yeah. What I've noticed is that the umpires, when they have a call that is overturned, and this, I think, goes with logic, it's much more vociferously presented when they're correct.
Fox got the strike back there. 3-2 the count.
But obviously you love a ground ball in this spot.
Alex McKay, the home plate umpire today. Payoff pitch from Fox to McCray. And Rushing wants to challenge this one.
Well,
if he loses,
the batter doesn't know yet that it's been challenged. He's already taken off the elbow pad, tossed the bat. He's already at first base.
It's either a walk or a strikeout, and it's a walk. And the Dodgers are out of challenger.
And Rushing has challenged twice, and he's been incorrect twice.
Bases full of Giants. And now Fox pitching to Tyler Fitzgerald, the third baseman, swing and miss. So what's going to be fun this year is watching how many people are in the ballpark who stop what they're doing. If they're coming back from the restroom or the concession stand or whatever, they're going to stop and look at the screen. People at home will stop what they're doing.
Yeah, right along with us.
Yeah, we'll do it too. We see it at the same time. Three-two Giants. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Fitzgerald now with a 2-strike count. Fox pitched a week ago. Well, Saturday, really, against the Angels. There was a strike 3. Fitzgerald couldn't hold up on the changeup. Jared Olivo, the left fielder. .252 last year in Sacramento in AAA. Swings, hits it a long way down the right field side. It is going to twist foul. Oh, what a terrific attempt by Earhart at that baseball. And he went a long way.
Senders went flying. Had to get some out of his ear, it looked like. This is just really a tough play because, you know, you're in a ballpark that you're not that familiar with. Oh, the walls are padded, but still you're trying to avoid a collision. He went into it with his left shoulder. But that's just an all-out effort.
Oh, 1 pitch. It's fouled off, 0-2.
You know, one thing that I find a little difficult, some of the spring training games, you and I were kind of discussing this a little bit earlier today, is that, you know, the teams take batting practice. Arizona, you know, Dodgers took BP over in Glendale. And then you come here. The point being is that, you know, you don't have the benefit as an outfielder or infielder to take ground balls prior to the game here to understand, A, the surface and the infield, and B, the outfield. What's the depth? Where are you located as far as defenses? What's the depth of the warning track? It's like, come over, they play the anthem and you play.
It's a show and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Giants did take batting practice on the field today. That's the first team we've seen do that this spring. Ground ball to third. And the throw to first, not in time.
This could not get the ball out of the glove to begin with, and doesn't have a play to second and too late to first.
Giants will pick up a run on the play. It's 4-2.
So the ball not hit real hard, but just did not grab the handle. Looking to second to begin with, no play. And running it out hard down the first baseline. The Dodgers did not register an out.
Now Luke Fox doesn't make it through the fifth. Dodgers will go to the bullpen. 4-2 Giants in the bottom of the fifth. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers presented by Bank of America coming March 26th. Check out exciting matchups, giveaways, special events, and much more. Dodgers.com/promotions. Christian Romero. That time in Great Lakes and in Oklahoma City briefly. He'll come in, try to get the final out. 2 down, bases loaded. Barracoto, the right fielder, is up. Luke Fox today just did not have any baseball luck. That fly ball to left field that Ryan Ward misplayed. Played into an early exit for him, and then also Senzel not able to get the ball out of the glove. Play was ruled a base hit, by the way, but still it could have been an inning-ending play. And Fox to the dugout early. Barracoto watches this pitch. A little high, 2-1.
That's a big pitch right here because you do not want to get 3-1. That's a hitter's count all day long.
Yeah, 2-1. This one's crushed. Deep to left. Ward can only watch it. It's a grand slam for Victor Barracoto. And the Giants have opened it up. It is 8-2.
Did I mention the 2-1 pitch was going to be a big pitch? Didn't want to go 3-1. Didn't want to go home run either.
You feel him a fastball at 93. Counted in on the hands a little. He just turned on it and destroyed it. 11 hits now for the Giants. Dodgers only with 3.
Well, the Giants have taken advantage of extra outs that have been handed to them in this inning. Dodgers last year gave up 9 grand slams. That was the highest total in Major League Baseball.
Ball's well hit to right field by Susak. And it goes high off the wall and gets past Earhart. The out of the center fielder there to back up. And it's a double for Daniel Susak. Let's see if this is a home run or not. It looked like it hit high off the wall, but
Vitello's coming on. The umpires are going to have a discussion.
So the umpires are going to get together, but our replay shows that was over the wall.
Susak looked into his dugout and motioned, around with his finger.
Well, that's why it shot back so quickly. It hit the brick. It will not get overturned. Not using instant replay in the game today. If we were, that would have been a home run. We are on the TV side using instant replay, but you can see clearly that's over the yellow line. So a double for Susak.
He can say I was robbed.
It was. Well, Slavi's Basabe is the batter. Basabe at short. I mean, soon enough, we'll have all the toys working at the same time. The replay, the ABS. Wait till they're on the same play. That will happen. Interesting to think, though, in San Francisco, it would have hit the brick also in right field. Giants didn't hit a lot of home runs last year. They don't normally. A couple of years ago, they moved some of the fences in, but they produced the fewest home runs they had hit as a team in 6 years last year. There's a big-time chase by Basabe and a sweeper. And he strikes out. 9 men come to the plate. And 5 of them score. Grand slam by Barracoto. 8.
Well, Yoshi, just 52 pitches today. How good do you feel heading to the World Baseball Classic now?
今日52球投げたんですけども、そのWBC に行くにあたってどれくらい体調いいですか？
体調は、すごくよく、できてます。で、初回ちょっとコントロールがなんていうんだろう、あんまりこううまく狙えず、ちょっとアバウトめななんていうんだろう感じ。のピッチングになったんですけど、2回途中ぐらいから、いろいろこう実戦の中の思い出すものがあって、いいところに投げていけました。
Okay, so overall, because my physical was good, feeling good, and then about today's game, early on, because my command was a little off, but after that, after first inning, getting into second inning, I started getting more like a strategic feeling came back, and then I think that was good.
Ramping up is not a new experience for you, especially doing it quickly. What have you learned about your body and how you're able to maintain your health and getting ready quickly?
短いオフの時間だったということで、その中で調整していく中で、その体調的にこういう工夫したっていうか考えてやったとかっていうところありますか？とか学んだこととか。
これまでも何度か経験があったので。そんなにこうなんていうんだろうな、こう怖がることなくというか、そういう気持ちがなく、しっかり冷静に一個ずつ進めていけましたし、今までで感じないほどのこうなんていうんだろう、その精神的というか、その体じゃなくて、頭とかそういう疲労感はありましたけど、しっかりリフレッシュもできたし、やるべきことはずっと分かってたんで、一個ずつできました。
Actually, I have been in this kind of like a short off season or in the situation I need to do this kind of ramp up, and then, but this time because mentally I was a little bit tired, fatigue, but the physical I was good. So,
where are you right now mentally?
精神的に今どういった状態ですか？
いい感じ。
That good feeling.
Yeah. Is that because of the excitement of the World Baseball Classic? Do you feel like you're rejuvenated because of that?
それいい感じっていうのはWBC に、これから行くっていうことのエキサイトメントとか興奮した部分があるからですか？
まだあまりないですけど、順調に上げてこれてるんで、とにかく、なんていうんだろう、一日一日じっくりやって、無理にガッと上げることなく、計画的にいけたらなと思います。
I just don't have much excitement, not that level yet, but I'm just trying to ramp up and then, mentally, physically, I just want to make an adjustment moving forward, moving towards a WBC tournament.
Words of Yoshinobu Yamamoto through translator Yoshihiro Sonoda does a great job with Yama. And again, good question at the end from David Vassay asking if he's kind of ramped up for the WBC at this point in time. 2 down, Ryan Ward up. Kirsten, you got more.
Yeah, Tim, well, just a quick note. Obviously, we heard Yoshinobu talking about how this year coming in and ramping up quickly. Of course, physically, he's felt great, but there was a mental fatigue that he felt for the first time. And I asked him, where did he think that came from? And he said that for him, it really was the postseason last year. Just the travel back and forth, being ready to play multiple days in a row, being mentally locked in. That for him was a newer grind and a newer experience. So this year he did have a little bit of a mental fatigue, but now he feels good and that excitement is slowly getting back in, and it should probably get there when he gets to Tokyo, guys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They are very excited in Tokyo for Pool C play. They're excited to have Shohei Ohtani over there, I can tell you that. There's a hot shot down to short. Basabe tackles it. Now throws to first. And he retires Tibbs. Dodgers done at the top of the 6th. They get a hit, leave a man. We go to the home half of the 6th inning. 8-2 Giants. Watson, Tim Everett here in Scottsdale. 8-2 Giants in front. Out hitting the Dodgers 12-4. Grand slam, the big difference. Victor Barracoto in the 5th inning. Edgardo Henriquez coming out. New catcher is Sebi Zavala. Kyle Nevin is at third base. Austin Gauthier is at second. Jose Izarra is the new shortstop. And Joe Vitrano is over at first base now. His first time in a spring game this spring. Zaire Hope is the new left fielder, and Kendall George in center. And Casey Schmidt, first baseman. He played a lot of third base for the Giants before Matt Chapman came along. And Schmidt coming in late in the spring training game and getting his first plate appearance. Trying to get out of the way, did not swing. What do you think? Looked like he went around.
Yep, it's going to get cold.
Henriquez still throwing the ball 102 miles an hour in spring training. That one was a slider at 88, but he has had his velocity up here this spring already in the triple digits. 99 right there with a fastball. 3-1 the count to Casey Schmidt. And that's high ball 4. So Henriquez comes out, walks the first man. And the Giants have a base running.
Velocity is nice. Accuracy needs to be included.
Patrick Bailey still in the game. Started at the DH spot. This will be his 4th at bat. Bailey last year would like to maybe put the year he had offensively behind him. He had the 5th worst OPS in the National League, 602. But if you're looking at a plus-minus defensively, he ended up with a plus 19 in defensive runs saved, which was tied for the best in the National League.
He also accomplished something that's odd. He became the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit a walk-off grand slam and a walk-off inside the park home run in the same season.
Well, those parts he'll remember. Some of the other things he won't, but yeah, it's unusual to do that. Highly unusual. Ball and a strike to Bailey. And the pitch from Henriquez. Foul tipped into the mitt of Sebi Zavala.
Yeah, for Bailey with that walk-off grand slam. Okay, he can run into a good hitter, but yeah, he's not known to be built for speed. On the inside the park home run. Got it nonetheless. Well, he's mad at himself. He'd love to have that pitch back. You can watch hitters, and when they foul the ball straight back and they react, that's in their zone. We'll watch the reaction. Yeah, he'd love to have that one back.
How many times after a game or before you put the head on the pillow did you think about, oh, I wish I'd have had that pitch?
A few hundred times. And then sometimes you say, well, I won't see another pitch in that area for another 2 weeks. If you're in a slump, it'll be a month.
Curveball, runner goes, throw down, not in time. That will be a stolen base for Casey Schmidt. You got to pick a pitch to run on. Curveball's not a bad one to run on.
Exactly. And got a pretty good jump.
One thing we've seen, and I don't know if it's just the way it's gone or if it's by design. I'll have to find this out pretty soon. But as an opposite field slicing base hit, runner comes around third, and Schmidt will score. And Patrick Bailey with an RBI single makes it 9-2.
That's her stolen bases. You get a runner in the scoring position, and then Bailey fouled off a few, then finally got one that he could handle and get fair.
Giants with a pinch runner at first. Thomas Gavello. Well, I was saying about something that might be just a coincidence or maybe by design, but I've seen Will Smith do it. We've seen Dalton Rushing do it. Now Sebi Zavala do it. And that is on their throws down to second. They're bouncing it off the grass. Will had one yesterday where we were using replay. The runner clearly would have been safe, but he was called out on a ball he bounced down there. Nate Furman at the plate, and Gavello the pinch runner. Throw to first, and Gavello gets back. Joe Vitrano again at first base, wearing 96 for the Dodgers. Nobody out, one run in this inning. And Furman is plunked. Got hit with a 92-mile-an-hour cutter. First and second and nobody out. Here comes Mark Pryor to have a word. Well, we had a fun conversation today over in the Giants booth with Hall of Famer John Miller, and Sean Estes, the former pitcher, is working with him today. on the Giants radio, and we were talking about a number of things. And you asked Sean, I thought, a really good question. Was there ever a hitter that just had your number? And he said, yeah, Eric Karros. He said, Eric Karros always hit me. And he said, I thought he had my pitches. He thought I was tipping, or I thought I was tipping to him. And then there's Sean on the right. And what he told us, he said they later became teammates with the Cubs. And he went to EK and he said, hey, did you have my pitches? And Eric said, no. Because Eric was a hitter, he never wanted to know what the pitch was. He wanted to read and react. And I think it would have made Sean feel better if Eric said, yeah, I knew what the pitches were, but Eric just used to hit him well.
Yes, there's also named Mike Piazza is rather difficult, which a number of other pitchers did as well.
Grant McCray, the center fielder, 2 on, nobody out. He looks to bunt, now throw back down, and it goes off the glove of the shortstop Izara out into center field, and the runners will move up.
This has not been a textbook afternoon for this Dodger ball club.
Again, the throw was bounced out there, and we'll see what they scored, but should be an E6, a catchable ball.
Pick off E2 allows the runners to advance.
Now they're going to give the error to the catcher on that. Infield comes in.
As the throw was bounced, very few times is out of all that gets away if the throw's in the ground, whether it be dirt or grass. Very few times it's going to be called on the receiver.
Just to follow up on that Eric Karros note, he did hit .381 against Sean Estes, 16 out of 42, 2 home runs. And Estes walked him 6 times. Everybody's got somebody they pick on, right? Everybody's got somebody they hit well.
And then there's those other guys who go, that pitcher could just throw his glove on the mound and get me out.
Well, the guy that could have done that to a lot of hitters didn't do that to you. Lefty, you owned Steve Carlton for some reason. You said you saw the ball coming out of his hand just really well.
For some reason. And that's what Sean Estes was talking about. And for some reason, there were hitters that he could get out, even when he did not have his good stuff. It's just weird sometimes.
Did McCray go? No.
Well, able to hold up.
I think you hit your buddy Tom Seaver pretty well too, didn't you?
Yeah. I made a fatal mistake. He fibbed to my mom.
It's true. You don't lie to Rick's mom. You get away with it. So McCray walks, and the bases are full of Giants again.
You don't mess with Superman's cape.
So this was at an All-Star game, and you're in the hotel lobby, and you've known Tom because you played with him for the Alaska Gold
Fairbanks, Alaska.
Yeah. And we'll continue that story in just a little bit as Dave Roberts makes his way out to get
Edgardo. We'll wait for Dave to get back to the dugout. He might want to listen in.
He might want to hear this one. It's a good one. Giants up 9-2. Some help from the bullpen on the way for the Dodgers. Suarez last year at Tulsa, 42 appearances. Struck out 65 in 64 innings that he pitched. And Fitzgerald waves and misses at a slider. So there was a pitch timer violation before the first pitch. So the count is correct at 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Giants have been having some fun. 11, make that 10 of the last 13 batters have reached base. They've had a merry-go-round.
2-1, cut and a miss, and another slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Fitzgerald. We were telling the story about you're in the All-Star game, and what city was that in?
Houston.
Houston, and you're in the hotel lobby with your mom, and you've known Tom Seaver. You'd played with him already in the summer before.
And my mom had come up to Fairbanks and got to know Tom as well while we were up there and teammates. So we were about ready to get on the bus. I told the story before, we were about ready to get on the bus to go to the ballpark. We worked out the day before, and I'd not seen Tom. And before I left the bus, my mom's in the lobby with me. She said, "Oh, there's Tom. Let's go over and say hello." So we did. And we just talked about, hey, this has been a big rush. Just 3 years ago, we're playing in Fairbanks, Alaska 4 years ago, and here we are. And he says, "Hey, I tell you what, you get the ball game at the same time." He said, "I'll give you 1 pitch to hit, but I'm going to throw it 800 miles an hour." And he threw hard. Obviously went on to Hall of Fame. So I'm already in the game. I see him warm up. He comes in and I face him.
Fitzgerald pops this one up back of the plate. Zavala will give it a look and can't get it.
So I come to home plate. I look out in the mound, and there's Seaver, and he nods to me. And I remember the conversation in front of my mother. He says, "Hey, I give you 1 pitch, I'll throw it 800 miles an hour." I nod back, and I'm getting ready for 800 miles an hour. And he threw me a curveball and then smiled. And a couple of pitches later, I grounded out to the right side, and I'm yelling at him all the way down to the first base bag. And I came back past the mound. He's there, and he's covering his mouth with his glove. And I said, "You lied to my mom."
Don't do that.
I was fortunate to hit pretty well against Tom Seaver. How, I have no idea. Very talented. We miss him. And we lost him way too early. Wound up with more home runs off of Seaver than anybody else. And I smiled every time I went around the bases.
Your revenge was long and served cold. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat from Suarez to Fitzgerald. And it's popped up. Back at first. Could be the infield fly, but it's caught by the outfield. So the indication is infield fly rule. And Earhart came into the last moment. The right fielder and made the catch. And so Fitzgerald is out.
But there's some pitches for whatever reason, and some may fall in the same category as maybe another pitcher and another pitcher and another pitcher. But for some reason, amongst that group, there may be one you hit well against and the other one you don't.
With all the science that's in the game, that's something that just hasn't been explained yet. It's like ballparks, right? Like certain ballparks.
Exactly.
You hit better than in others. You really enjoy it.
And sometimes that's because of the pitching staff that may be on that ball club that you're facing. Sometimes you have difficulty picking up the baseball in that particular park for whatever reasons. And it's difficult to explain where you hear hitters say, "I see the ball out of his hand very well." Other pitchers, you don't. If you're in a slump, you don't see the ball until about 3 feet in front of home plate at times, it seems.
1-1 to Jared Oliva, the left fielder for San Francisco. That one is looped into shallow center. Goffner giving it a run. It's going to fall into the Bermuda Triangle. 1 run is there. Here comes another. A 2-run single, and the Giants now lead it 11-2.
Well, that ball's not going to be caught to begin with, but just little things, such as after the ball hits the ground, once the right fielder comes in and tries to pick the ball up with his glove, that's just not the way to do it. Just little things. So you're trying to tweak it, and little subtle things that happen. The ball gets, picks it up with his glove. Well, if you drop it the second time, that runner is going to probably advance 90 feet. So if you've already dropped it once, you want to make sure you don't drop it the second time, and that's not the way to go after a baseball, just with the glove only. Pick it off the ground.
Bo Davidson comes up to the plate for the first time, hitting for Barracuda. One out, first and third. I think sometimes in different ballparks you feel a little different at the plate too. I was thinking about, when you were with the A's. Oh, there it goes. Ball thrown away to first base. Another run's going to come in. It's now 12-2 on a throwing error, and the ball game is starting to disintegrate here.
We're in that Calliope music part of the game right now.
Throwing error by Suarez. Well, I was saying was, when you were with Oakland in the American League, when you first came up and you're playing at the Coliseum after you moved from Kansas City to Oakland, it must have felt like, with the construction of the stadium the way it was, that you were kind of walking out to the middle of a field to get to home plate, compared to where you were at Wrigley Field when you went with the Cubs, where the stands must have felt like they were right on top of
Well, there was more foul territory, so the dugouts at the time, before inflation, the dugouts were a $2 cab fare from home plate.
Eric Haas, catcher. Right-handed batter takes. First time this spring the Dodgers have allowed more than 10 runs in a game. That's the third time this spring, third time in 7 games, the Giants have scored 10 or more.
On the pregame show, we were kind of touching it earlier on in the ballgame, kind of touching on the fact that Dave Roberts and coaching staff have to be encouraged by the level of play over the first 6 games, the way that the pitching has been going. Today's game, however, does not fall into that particular portion of the scouting report. Except for a couple of plays by Espinal at second base.
Yeah.
I mean, they were outstanding.
He's had a good game.
We've had misjudged fly balls. We've had errant throws.
Foul tip for a strike on Haas. Oftentimes we've seen a lot of these games over the years, but the spring training games can be like 2 different games in one. You have your starters, they come on, they do their thing, they leave halfway through. It's a new lineup in there entirely. And you hope you get the same results if you're winning. Davidson strikes out. And a big inning, a 4 spot for the Giants. We go to the 7th. 12-2 San Francisco. Dodgers.com/promotions for more information. Tons of great promotions at Dodger Stadium this year. A lot of great bobbleheads, great collectibles. It'll be another fun year at the ballpark, that's for sure. Here's Greg Ferrone. Pitched an A ball last year, 23 starts between single A and advanced A.
I was just thinking, opening day will have another incredible flavor.
Pitch to Zach Earhart, a strike.
So new jewelry is going to be handed out. World Championship flag.
To celebrate the World Series victory, 2nd year in a row. Doesn't happen very often. And the quest for 3 in a row is on. Ferrone winds, and the lefty sends one home, and Earhart fouls it off. Yeah, you've got quite a jewelry collection going in your days. The one you wear from 1981. Dodger World Series ring. It's a pretty good run, though, at that time. You know, back-to-back World Series in 77, 78, and finally beat the Yankees in 81.
And that current streak is not bad at all, postseason appearances.
This ball's hammered down the left field line by Earhart. He's going to turn first and try for second. Looking to outrun the throw. He slides. He's safe. Well, good leg work by Earhart. That's his second double of the game.
Well, he made the double basically. First of all, had to hit the ball, obviously. But coming out of the batter's box, it wasn't like, okay, I got a base hit. Okay, let me just take my time. No, he's thinking possibility. Hey, there's a chance to get to second base. What if the play is not a very good one, which it was? What if the ball is bobbled, which it wasn't?
Chris Newell is out there to pinch run for Earhart. He'll stay in the game, go in the outfield.
Those are little things that really get the attention of the baseball people. When you hustle and you make something happen.
Speaking of hustle, here's Kendall George. You don't want to be the base runner in front of him. He might pass you.
Maybe.
1-1 pitch. Even a miss. Part of the game for Kendall George, not just put the ball in play, but get more balls hit into the outfield. I mean, he can put it down in the infield and just run it out. But you've got to have a little bit more to your game. And he continues to work on that. That's not a bad idea right there, going the other way. First round pick a couple of years ago by the Dodgers. There's a 1-2 pitch. And we looked at it on the corner for strike three, a fastball. Not a lot on the fastball, about 88, 89 miles an hour from Ferrone.
That's a tough pitch right there. Gets ahead in the count, then goes to the knees outside corner.
If you're tuning in saying, why didn't he challenge that? Well, the Dodgers are out of challenges. Lost one at the plate early with Dalton rushing with a challenge, and then when he was catching, he lost one as well. Here's Kyle Nevin playing third base. Taken inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Nevin. Newell leads at second base, 1 out, 2-0 pitch. And that one is hit right to the second baseman for an out. Nate Furman makes the catch. 2 away for the Dodgers in the 7th. And Zaire Hope, the batter. Dodgers acquired Hope in the Michael Busch trade with the Cubs. Jackson Ferris also, who's expected to pitch tomorrow. Tomorrow is a split squad day, by the way. Dodgers are home against the Cubs at Camelback Ranch, and then another squad will head over to Texas. And based on one of the sheets I'm looking at, Jackson Ferris is expected to go against Jack Leiter with the Rangers over in Surprise. And the pitching matchup for the Cubs and Dodgers, well, that is a surprise. I don't know. Find out later.
Surprise, surprise.
Split squad game, you know. Hope grounds it to the right side. Furman is there. Throws on to first, and that does it for the Dodgers. Stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Hit 14-5 today. And Paul Gervais comes on to pitch. And Wasabi, the shortstop, fouls it back. For strike one. Six games in the big leagues last year. Tampa Bay and the Dodgers. 6 feet 10 inches. Big guy, hard to miss. Loads the ball with a split grip. A lot of pitchers do that. Typically they'll load it with the pitch that they're most comfortable throwing, that grip, and then change it from there. 0-2. Way up high, and it's chased for strike three. Wasabi is out. One down on the Giants' 7th. Casey Schmidt up for the second time, walked and scored. Also stole a base. You were telling us before the game about the first time you came here when you were a freshman at Arizona State. You came here to watch a game.
Yeah, that's when the Red Sox were training here. And we finished our practice and we scooted over here, and and Usher was kind enough to let us sit right behind home plate. At about the time that we sat down, the Red Sox were making a pitching change. Now, we come in and we think, hey, we're hot shots with freshmen. We're playing on the freshman team at Arizona State. And they bring this guy in to pitch that stands 6'6", 230. His name was Dick Raditz, who had the nickname the Monster.
Yeah.
And we saw him pitch to the first batter, and I turned to my roommate and I looked at him and I went, oh my.
You sure you want
different game?
You sure you want to be involved in that?
Oh. Difference between a freshman in college and major league pitching, even in spring training, and Dick Raditz.
Ground ball is short. That is backhanded by Izara. He throws on to first for the out. Two gone.
Talking to John Miller about that, I said, you know, you go back to the time that they would bring the pitchers in from the bullpen in the golf carts and let them out. If they were to bring Raditz in, it would have been in a cage.
He was a big man.
Oh.
Who was the biggest guy you ever faced? I'm trying to think. Would have been J.R. Richard, maybe?
Possibly J.R. You know, you look at the Phillies back in the 70s. They had a pitching staff that looked like it could have been an NBA team.
Speaking of NBA teams, 6'10" Gervais throws one home. A little low that time with a cutter. 2 balls and a strike to Will Brennan. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That pitch is up, ball 4. 2-out walk from Gervais. Well, fans are excited for this one. Anytime the Dodgers and Giants get together, got here a little earlier this morning, and I mean, fans were already lined up. A lot of Dodger fans, a lot of Giant fans. So even when they get together in spring training, it draws a crowd, and a capacity crowd was here today. Some have left, but it was a really big crowd for the first 5-6 innings.
I told you that after I parked the car, walking in across the street, coming in, and someone in chalk had written a few things within a block. It's like every 20 feet had written just, well, not encouraging words for the Dodgers.
It's a big game.
Well, there were two things when Tom Lasorda was manager that you did not have in your closet. Anything that was orange or red.
1-1. Furman fouls this one away to the left. Yeah, and he was serious about that too. Like, you couldn't. He hated the Cincinnati Reds, and he hated the Giants. Of course, the Reds were in the West.
Yes, well, that geography class did not go very well.
Remember, Atlanta was in the West too.
Yes.
Finally got that straightened out.
Yeah, two teams in Eastern time zone were in the West. Whoops.
Two and two to Nate Furman, the second baseman. Pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three, and Gervais gets his second strikeout of the inning. Down go the Giants, and we go to the eighth inning at Scottsdale Stadium. Giants have more than the Dodgers. That young man wants to know what Dave Roberts has to say after this one, so he may be tuning in. And you can too. Sebi Zavala, the catcher, facing a new pitcher, Marcus Johnson. Johnson trying to climb the ladder in the Giants system. Advanced A and Double-A, 41 appearances combined. But he struck out 78 in 57 innings pitched. So that's been one of the big things to watch for Johnson. Zavala pops it up right near second base. Coming in is Basabe. And the shortstop will make the catch for out number one. Joe Vetrano, the batter. Yeah, a couple of things that Dave Roberts had talked about today prior to the game involving pitching. He was asked about any progress with Blake Snell. Now, Snell is not hurt. He's just getting a late start. He's been throwing on flat ground, playing long toss, and that's pretty much the extent of the update. I expect him to continue to progress and then get stretched out, but the timeline doesn't necessarily look like it would be for opening day. There's a high fly ball to center field by Vetrano. Caught by McRae, 2 down.
Yeah, opening day is just not going to happen.
Well, I think the way they have to look at it is, look, it's just game one. Don't worry about it. I mean, opening day's got all the pomp and circumstance for sure, and it means something. It's the start of the regular season, but sometimes for pitchers, it's not what it's all, it's just another game. And it's funny to say that, but you got 161 left after opening day. And you got to say, okay, what's more important, those remaining 161 or the first one in March? Nelson Quiroz is up.
When you get to the end of the season in the pennant race, you realize they've all been important.
They all count. He was asked about reliever Brock Stewart. He said he's throwing bullpens now, and very encouraging. Looks good. Brusdar Gratterall right now in a holding pattern. It's not like it's been a setback or anything, but he's just kind of in a holding pattern at this point in time. Marcus Johnson with his 7-pitch top of the 8th inning. Go to the home half of the 8th. 12-2 Giants. Texas also. Sunday the Angels will be at Camelback Ranch. Monday it'll be the Rockies and the Guardians, and then Team Mexico on the 4th of March in a WBC exhibition. We'll have that one for you as well. Left-hander Adam Serenowski comes on to pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning. Serenowski, 15th round pick by the Cincinnati Reds in 2022. Came up through their system. And part of a 3-team deal between the Dodgers, Reds, and the Rays. Serenowski was involved. So was Paul Gervais, who we just saw pitch last inning. And Ben Rortvedt was acquired, the catcher. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's a late. McRae, he strikes out. And there's one down in the bottom of the 8th. Hunter Fiducia was in that deal. He went from the Dodgers to the Rays. Probably good for Fiducia, too. I mean, he made his big league debut with the Dodgers, but there just wasn't a lot of room at the end with Dalton Rushing coming up. Austin Barnes had been there for quite a while with Will Smith, so it was good for Fiducia to get to another organization and get in the big leagues. And he spent a lot of time in the major leagues with the Rays after that trade. And Serenowski came over to the Dodgers and started working here. Tyler Fitzgerald, the third baseman. Serenowski throws and fouled off. Serenowski from Taylor, South Carolina. Lefty throws home and it's inside. That's the second pitch of his that's popped out of the glove of Zavala. A little bit of a breeze kicking up, blowing toward the right field corner. But still most of the afternoon, temperatures in the low 90s. Slider for a strike.
Challenge.
Pitch is called a strike. The hitter is challenging.
Well, let's see. You can't take him with you at this point in the game, so why not? And it's a strike.
The call is confirmed. San Francisco has one challenge remaining.
I'm just trying to imagine what the reaction's going to be like when that graphic is shown on the big screen at Dodger Stadium. How fans are going to react there. It's going to be wild. I think the ABS is going to be a big asset to the fan experience. Creates that just a few moments of suspense, some drama. Is it a strike or is it a ball? A broken bat roller down to Nevin at third. Recovers, throws to first too late.
Well, Nevin was going to play the ball off to the side instead of just right in front of him. Tried to go just to the backhand side. And it went off the end of the glove. A great shot. Just really not getting his feet there and trying to backhand it. And for the Dodgers, that's their third error of the game.
Well, if you're the optimist, you're thinking, well, maybe it'll set up a double play.
I like that.
Jared Oliva, left fielder, comes up. Looking out at Adam Serenowski. Swing and a miss. You got him to chase the slider. Kind of a slurvy pitch, though, isn't it? Kind of
Yep.
in between a curveball and a slider. They'll also throw a changeup. Of course, the fastball, four-seamer. 0-1 to Oliva. Fouled a long way out of play down the left side.
Interesting stance by Oliva to begin with. Kind of a peekaboo stance and holds the bat very low. Then he brings it up to the top of the strike zone as the pitcher is about to deliver the baseball. but his hands start out very low.
Did not go. Check swing appeal down to first base. Well, can you believe tomorrow's the last day of February? Already?
Can you believe tomorrow's going to be another day in the 90s?
I know it. The ball gets away from Zavala and down to second base. There's Fitzgerald. Wild pitch. Struck him out. It's Bo Davidson who struck out his last time up in the sixth. The Dodgers have played a full week of games already here in spring training. Once this one concludes. Yoshinobu Yamamoto started this one, went 3 innings, allowed 2 earned runs on 4 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. 52 pitches, 37 for strikes. Ground ball to short. Right there is Izara. On to first. And we go to the 9th inning. Last chance for the Dodgers here in Scottsdale. It's the Giants 12, Dodgers 2. Over Scottsdale. And here is Nick Zwak on to pitch for San Francisco. Parks Harbor is now at third base. And Tyler Fitzgerald moves to left field. Olivia is out. 1-0 pitch. And that misses. 2 balls, no strikes. Austin Gauthier hits it on the ground to the right side. That is thrown over to first base by Furman. 1 out. (4-3). How's your scorebook looking today with all these Giants changes?
Lovely. You know, if you squint real hard, look at the scorebook, squint real hard. It's still an abstract.
It's like a Picasso right now. Jose Azara.
And the nose is still not centered.
But this is how it is. All these guys getting great opportunities to play, like Azara, who bangs one in the left field for a base hit. Chris Newell will come up next. So Azara at first, 1 out, top of the 9th. Newell came in to pinch run for Earhart. Earhart had 2 doubles. And Newell came in the 7th inning to run, and then he went to right field for him. Block's pitch. Swung on and missed. It's on the menu tonight.
Not sure.
Still working on it. Well, Newell clubs one deep to right field. It is back. It is gone. A home run for Newell. Well, how about that? The Dodgers get a couple of runs back. It's 12-4.
It's a time for the young players. They have a chance to kind of make an impression, and that will make an impression with that swing. And that's lefty against lefty.
Hit a slider.
Well, it slid all right. Slid right out of here. And Newell knew it when he hit it.
Kendall George fouls it away. So Newell hitting in the 8th spot in the Dodger order, and the number 8 hitters today combined, well, Earhart and Newell, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run. That's been the most productive spot in the batting order. Has been the 8-hole. One ball, 1 strike. Zwak kicks and fires. Another slider missing. It's 1-1, rather 2-1 now to Kendall George. And the 2-1 pitch. Wave through it, 2-2. Two and 2 to Kendall George. Swung on, smack foul down the left field side, not a play. Kendall George hoping to have a really big year this year in his development. Pitch timer violation. I'll make the count full, 3-2. It's the second pitch clock violation we've seen in the game. Pitch clock's old hat now. Remember, we had to.
I'll tell you something that's in a relatively short period of time is old hat. You don't even notice it now. Larger bases.
Don't even notice. You're right. The pizza boxes. It's been a good thing, too. As Kendall chases a slider and strikes out. I mean, the extra bases, or the extra size on the bases has resulted in more stolen base attempts, more stolen bases. So getting runners on the move has been up in baseball since they put the bigger bases out there a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but the bigger bases, it only reduces the distance by a total of 6 inches. That's the difference in a bang-bang play.
Kyle Nevin, the batter. Nevin 0 for 1, lined out to second in the 7th inning. 2 down, top of the 9th inning. And the pitch. Slider for a strike through the back door. Dodgers down to their last strike this afternoon. Walks 0-2. That's up high, 1-2. Yeah, but we debuted the pitch clock a couple of years ago. We had the very first TV game using it. It was over in Maryville against the Brewers a couple of springs ago. And now it's just part of the woodwork. Same as the bases. Nevin swings and strikes out, and the ball game has come to a conclusion. And the Dodgers have fallen for the first time in Cactus League play. They go to 6-1, while the Giants go to 5-2. 12-4, the final score here.